In this presentation, we can discuss about file handling in C. So what is a file? File is a piece of memory in the secondary storage of disk. It will retain after reboot of the computer or restart of the program. But the memory of the RAM won't retain after the program restart or reboot of the computer. Secondary storage is slower than RAM, but it will retain for more time. So following are some of the examples of files. So a JPEG file, which is an image. An HTML page which you view in a web browser is a file in the web server. So how to create and access file in C program? So there are three functions mainly: fopen, fread, and fwrite. Fopen is to open a file, fread is to read from the file, fwrite is to write to the file. There are other functions like fputAs, fprintf, fscanf, etc. So we're gonna deal with fopen, fread, and fwrite. For the other function, you can go for the documentation of stdio.h. So what are the steps for reading? So if you already have a file, you can open that file, read from the file, and close the file. If you want to print, you can print as well after reading. So following are the steps for writing: open the file, write the file, and close the file. So the other steps are optional. So now we are going to see a demo which reads and writes to a file. So this is our file pointer. So the type of the file pointer is file star. So p file is a file pointer. So we have a buffer or a memory location which we're going to write into the file. P file is assigned to fopen's output. So what fopen returns is a file pointer. So this is the name of the file which we want to open. This argument shows that we wanted to write into the file. So we are going to write into myfile.txt. So assuming that fopen is success, we are going to write into the file using the function fwrite. So what are the arguments we are passing into fwrite? The buffer, which contains the data to write. So these two arguments I am not discussing here. You can go and check the documentation. Basically, they are dealing with the size of the buffer. So p file, another input we are giving into fwrite is the file pointer itself. So that is how fwrite knows to which file it has to write. After writing, we are closing the file using fclose. After that, what we are doing is we are trying to read from the same file. We have again some memory location which is initialized to 0. After that, we are opening the file just as before. In this case, we are going to read from the file using a read mode. After that, we are using fread. The parameters to fread is pretty much the same as fwrite. This is where you get the output. So this is again related to size of this buffer we are passing. So this is the file pointer. After that, we are closing the file. So let's debug this application. So I'm putting a breakpoint here, here, and here. So I'm pressing the play button. So I got my first breakpoint hit. I'm pressing F10. So my buffer contains test at the moment. I'm pressing F10 again. So my file open is success. So I'm going to press F10 again and Fclose. So now let's see what is inside that file. I'm opening that file in Windows Explorer. This is a file which we have just created. So I'm going to double click on that file so that it will open in Notepad. So we have the test here. So I'm closing it, closing this as well. So I'm going to read the same file. F10, F10, F10. So initially I have initialized this buffer with 0. Now the buffer contains test, which means that our read is success. Now let's see another sample which is a little bit more complicated than the previous one. In this case, instead of a random character array, we are going to save a structure array into the file. So I have a structure type here which has three member variables: name, ID, and address. So I have declared an array of such structures, so 5 structure variables, so 5 elements in this array. Now I am populating those 5 elements here, and then I am writing it into a file. So if you look at this, this is my input buffer. So the file name is myfile.txt. After that, I'm declaring a new buffer of exactly same type, so 5 elements in that array as well, and trying to read from the same file. So let's try to execute this application. Before writing into the file, let's see what are the contents in the array. Following are the contents in the array. So we have 5 elements: F10, F10, F10. So we have written into the file. Now let's go ahead and open the file and see what is inside the file. So this is a file. So the file contains not very readable things, but we can see the strings which we have added before. But overall the content is not very readable. So let's see if we can read it back. So currently this array is pretty much empty. So it almost contains junk values. So again I'm opening the file. I'm reading from the file. So now let's see what is the content of the new. So we got the contents correctly. I'm going to stop debugging and I'm going to comment out the writing part of it. So I'm going to comment out the writing part, just the writing part. Not going to comment the reading part. So I need to define the file pointer. Now I'm going to put a breakpoint here instead of here, and I'm going to press the play button. So now I have stopped the program, everything is erased from memory. Now I'm trying to read from the same file. So I got the same output, which means that it is read from the file. Now let's go back to the slides. So we have seen this demo, reading and writing to a file, and we have seen this demo as well. It's a student details program, reading and writing a structure into the file. So that's it. Thank you very much.